Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and in this video, I just want to update you guys thoroughly on Humbl stock so you guys know exactly what's going on, where these levels of support are coming from, and why the price action just continues to sink. So right now we're looking at Humbl on the daily time frame, and all that we are going to talk about today are our levels of support so you guys have a better understanding of where this price action can land. So first and foremost, we are on our second last level of support. So on our uptrend here on Humbl, when we started to run up here in early November of 2020, we had certain levels of resistance that we had to break through. And so you can see here, we were climbing our way up, we got rejected here, and then we ended up breaking up out of this point. Now here's where I get a slight concern with the price action. Usually, you should get a back test on a level of resistance and you need to treat it as support so you have a base on a stock. But you can see right here, we actually never got a back test on this level right here. And so that is kind of scary knowing that this line is all the way at 15 cents. And so since we haven't seen the official back test on this level of support, what I want you guys to understand with Humbl is if the markets start to dip, even if Humbl is doing well as a company, the stock price is going to go down just because the overall index is down. And so that is the only way I can see Humbl retesting this level of support. I personally believe there will be a larger correction in the markets sometime next year. And at that point in time, we could see price action for Humbl get as low as this 14-15 cents range. And so if you divide that number by 4, that is what you're going to get pre-split. And so if we just kind of use that same back test rule, you can see right here, this level became a level of support for us. We got our back test right here. We had a slight back test here. You can see we were ready to surge after our back test, but bears pulled us back down. You can see our RSI was extremely high at this point. We found support on this line again, and then we were off to the races. Here you could see that we didn't really get our back test at any point, but here it was. We got our back test, and you saw how strong this price was when we got down to support. And so here we are now dragging all the way down, and we are back on this level of support. You can see we closed here right on this level. And so when I'm looking at Humbl, here's how I want to break this down. If you were unfortunate enough to buy in this range, you did buy Humbl at a premium. And so in the short term, it is a premium. In the long term, I don't think this is going to be a premium. I could see the price action being double where we were at here in a few years down the road. But in the short term, this was buying at a premium. And so when we're looking at where we are now, this is the ideal level between these two lines at 82 cents and 40 cents is the accumulation level. This bottom line is what we would call life support. And so at least I would call it life support. This line represents the final level of support. And so if somehow the markets crash or something extraordinary happens and Humbl somehow gets to this point, I want you guys to understand, do not buy any shares of Humbl under 40 cents. If this breaks below 40 cents, there is a great chance that it goes down to this 14 cents level. And so the way I play stocks, the way I trade is I always like to buy on support. And so I did buy some shares today. We bought some shares here on support with Humbl. I'm just loading up as many shares as I can. I'm accumulating at any cost. My average cost right now is 58 cents. And so when I'm looking at the price right now, I am down. I could care less. This is a long-term hold for me. This is a play that I will continue to accumulate, and I will treat this as a savings account. Once we break past this level is once we're going to start to see some real momentum on this stock. Until then, we are still in free fall. Right now, we are on our second last level of support. I personally bought some shares today. And so the reason why I believe it's highly unlikely we get to this point in the short term is because of our RSI. We're so oversold that we need to spring back. We need to get this back into a neutral area. And that would mean that the price action has to go up. And so in the medium term, we could see this come down to this point. And so in the back of your head, always remember, if we're below 40 cents and we're in the 30 cents range, don't buy just yet because there is no support at these lines. People who have stop losses are going to get absolutely raided. And so from that point, from this level of support, because the next level is so far down, the shorts can come in and they could raid a whole bunch of stop losses, which will lead the price action to plunge very briefly, and it will be very drastic. And so that could lead the price to get to these levels, and I don't expect that price to stay there very long. The way I would play Humbl right now is set buy limits here at around 16, 17 cents, set some buy orders here at around 42 to 40 cents. And so these are support levels. Yes, some people are down drastically on this play, but even if you buy here at $7, $6, $5, at 40 cents, you can buy a whole bunch more shares and you can get your average cost really down. And so if the price goes to 14 cents, it's the exact same thing. You can get way more shares with a lot less money and you can reduce your average cost significantly. So with Humbl, this is not a play where you buy it once and you forget about it. This is a play where you want to get your best average, and you can't ever time the bottom of a stock. So your goal here is just to accumulate as much as you possibly can at support levels, and that's the only real thing that you can do with a stock like Humbl. This is a startup company that's going to have its swings up and down. We're going to get good news, we're going to get bad news, and right now we're on a key level of support. And so understanding that we're on support, know that this is a great long-term play. If you don't believe this is a great long-term play, then by all means don't buy any shares of the stock. But if you are in this stock, I'm assuming that you're in this for the medium to long term. This isn't really a short-term play. You missed the short-term run back here if you were in it for the short-term money. Like I said, I had a 58 cents average before the run up and I didn't sell a single share. So that should tell you how much I believe in this company. And so just for reference, that's over 1,000% in return that I didn't take a single profit. And so I'm very confident in this company. I believe very heavily in this management. And so all I can do is, for other shareholders, look at support levels, buy and accumulate at these levels, and then just let the price action do what it does. The worst thing that you could possibly do is buy a play very high, forget about that play, move on to another play, and now you have a whole assortment of plays where you are bag holding. The best way to reduce your net loss and actually come out with a profit is to average down that very high play. Wait and wait and wait. Yes, you're going to be down significantly because now you have a bigger position, but at one point in time, the tables will turn, and don't be that guy that just does not average down. If you don't average down, you're not going to be successful in the market. And so the only way to average down is to know when to do it. And so that is why I make these videos, so you guys know these are the levels of support that we're looking at. We are on our second last level of support. And so I bought today and I bought yesterday. And so if we get down to this next level here at 14, 15 cents, I will be there and I will have an order set a little bit higher than that point, around 17, 18 cents to fill if we get down there. If not, I bought shares today on support, and if we run up tomorrow, then I'm thankful that I bought here on support. It's a very simple game, and so I wanted to update you guys because we were down significantly today, and so a lot of you may be sweating your positions right now. And so I just wanted to make this so you guys have a better understanding of when to average down, because that's all you can really do at this point. Most of you guys are already shareholders of this company, and chances are your average is probably a lot higher than what the price is. And so all I can do is help you try to find levels to average down. And so I've officially now tripled my share count here on Humbl in the last 2 days, and I'm very glad about that. And so with this stock, once this tide turns, this is going to be an explosive play, and I'm excited and I can't wait for that to happen. And so I've been in the stock game long enough to know that these day-to-day movements in stock prices are irrelevant. They're just going to cause you more stress. If you have these levels laid out prior and you have orders set to buy at certain levels, that is how you're going to succeed in this market, because that's not you using emotions, that's you being technical, and that is you being an assassin, and that's how you need to be. You got to be cutthroat. You can't have feelings involved. You find your levels of support, you put your buy orders in, If they fill, they fill. If they don't, they don't. You've done your part. You've done your research. So many bears are coming out of hibernation with Humbl, and anytime you have all of the bears starting to pounce on a stock is usually when you're nearing a bottom. And so I actually love when I start to see all this hate coming in, because that is letting me know that we are getting very close to a bottom. And so usually these are points where you get tested as a shareholder. And so when you see these significant drops intraday after a very long downtrend, you know we're getting very close, because this is when people usually start selling at the bottom because they get so impatient. They believe the stock is doomed. They get out, and as soon as they get out, the stock price starts going up, and then they watch it go up and they think it's going to come back down, but it keeps going up, 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 and then they end up buying at the top, and then it comes right back down, and the same process repeats itself. And so I make these videos so that is not happening to you. We can't predict where a stock's going to go, but we do know previous levels that the stock has had some interactions with, and so that's why these levels of support are so valuable when it comes to trading and knowing when to average down. And so we're at second last level of support here with Humbl. We are getting very close to a bottom, oversold RSI. I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed this video here on Humbl, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.